Are you stuck? How about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for Magical Moments with Alena, as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. Alena will help you take control of your life and push you to do the things you never thought you'd do. So get ready to take back your power and celebrate life with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments for that ease and betterment in your life. And I'm your host, Alena Chapman. And isn't it time? But I'll tell you something, folks. This is an Ask Alena. And today I'm going to be talking, well, let me ask you some questions. Not even tell you what I'm going to be talking about right now. Let's see how you answer these questions. So, do you ever feel like you're living a Groundhog Day? You know, the day that just seems to, or the life that keeps repeating with this one kind of person that annoys you, or that one situation that just seems awful, or that one just reliving the things that you don't want, okay? That's like 95% of us, by the way. Okay, there we go. And then, or maybe you're falling in with the same relationships over and over. Why is the world filled with narcissists? You may ask yourself. Well, they aren't. The whole world is not filled with narcissists. But see, this is the thing. We are pushing through life. We just push through. No matter what happens to us, we just take the bumps and the challenges and we just move forward. Now, it's really funny because when I grew up, and, you know, I love my dad. I do. I'm a daddy's girl. Love my mom, too. They're both gone, but I love them. But not everything they said totally served me. It half served me. You might find that with your parents. Actually, you know, comment. Let me know, because I don't think I'm the only one who can only use part of what they say. But my father used to say, you don't cry until after the challenge is done or after the hurt is done. You have to fight now. And he'd bolster me up, pick me up by my bootstraps and say, go for it. And I don't want to hear it. Okay, so that's how I grew up. And so what did that cause? It shoved it down deep, folks. You shove down that hurt. You're hurt, shove it down. Go forward, plow through, get through it. And in some ways, it did teach me one thing very valuable, that when stuff happens, you don't panic. You don't go into this, oh my gosh, my life is in the pits of the cherries or whatever. My life instead is going to go well because I find a solution right away. But there's a little difference, because when you shove it down, you shove down the hurt, you shove down the problems you feel with your self-esteem, you shove down everything. And it comes out in your life. It comes out in repeat situations. Because ultimately, all these situations that keep occurring to you, and where you got hurt in the first place, you have to learn the higher lesson. Because if you don't learn the higher lesson, then your soul doesn't evolve. And believe it or not, folks, and I know it's woo-woo spiritual, but let's face it, we are a spirit living a human experience. And if we are that spirit living a human experience, then it is about the spirit and what the spirit is doing. And if we are here to experience and create and love, then all those experiences, good and bad, that we go through and we just plow through and we shove it down, think we're not going to do that again, or I'm a survivor. I love it when we label our shoving down. I'm a survivor. Well, guess what? You're going to be just barely surviving the rest of your life because you're not learning the lesson. And those people who say, I'm a victim, well, guess what? That's a great phase to get through. And to say, yeah, I'm a victim, but get out of it too. Don't stay there, because if you stay there as the victim and everybody is persecuting you, guess what? They're going to keep persecuting you over and over because you haven't learned the higher lesson. And that's really the brutal truth of it all. So, yes, I do appreciate what my dad said, but I grew up as a girl who had shoved a lot down. And as I've told you in the past, I am a professional pusher-downer of emotions. And I was so darn good at it. But I learned, I guess I was about 28 in my 30s through that process. All of a sudden, I started thinking, wait a minute, I'm getting really sarcastic. And I can see this popping out and, a little bit caustic there, Alena. And I could see it, the hurt, these coming out in this so-called funny sarcasm and this kind of causticness. And I thought, I don't like that. And what's going on? And I also know some days I just wanted to cry, but couldn't because, well, we really didn't cry. We weren't allowed to cry. We were supposed to pick ourselves up and move on. And so I would rent a movie, a sad movie, to get myself crying. And then everything would pour out of me. But that was my starting to wake up. I was starting to wake up to, wait a minute, there's a lot of crap down there in me that I haven't processed and I haven't looked at. And it's affecting my life every day. And if you look at the science of this, it makes total sense. Because we can only see with what we believe. Say, if you ask a person to look at a tree, or two people to look at a tree, or three, every single one will see something different. Every single one will name what they see. They'll say a tree, but describing the tree. Same with a job opportunity. Same with a person. And what each person is guiding their viewing vision of the situation, guy or girl or tree, whatever they're looking at, it's all being guided by what they have lived through in their life that have formed their beliefs of what life is. So if I have always been in a situation where I have been persecuted or hurt or as a victim, then I'm going to look out at that new opportunity like a victim would. Not really stepping out into it, really scared to get out of my comfort zone. Can I trust you? And I can't trust you. I can't trust you. And before you know it, you're right back living that Groundhog Day. No, you cannot trust them. We create what we believe because that's all we have. So my question to you is, isn't it time to clean up the inside so that our outside, our life, reflects all the abundance, the joy, the success, the fun, the peace, the calm? Isn't it time to look inside and start clearing it up? As I was coming to drive to do the show, I looked up at the sky and the clouds were dark. But out of the clouds, it seemed like white clouds were streaming out of it. And if you can think of the healing process like that the light comes out of the darkness, meaning all this stuff that is deep inside you, my gosh, folks, there is light in there. There is the higher lesson. And when you learn the higher lesson, it breaks the bonds. You are free of the dark cloud. You are free. Free. And it feels fantastic. There is nothing like it. it is the true freedom of the mind, body, and soul. All right, so I've told you my story. So that's what I want to talk about. Freedom. It's personal freedom. You can have freedom. We all have freedom. We live in a free nation, but most of us are not free. And we're held by that dark cloud inside. So what can we do about this? How can we go about this? We've got to heal. We've got to go down and look into ourselves and heal. Heal that abusiveness that we went through. Heal the stuff we did to ourselves. Maybe we were addicted to something like alcohol. Well, don't just stop at the alcohol and the drugs, because that was self-medicating. Okay, let's be real. There was a problem there. That's what you need to heal, whether it was family or the uncle or the kids or how you felt about yourself. There was something other than that. The addiction is always the byproduct of what is going on inside you. So what was going on inside you? And isn't it time to look at the stuff that we have gone through in our lives? It's really funny. I had the time when I was 10 where I could stay in that victim role of how nobody likes me and this woman changed, this girl changed everybody against me and, oh, woe is me. But actually, when I dove in and I talked to my little 10-year-old girl essence inside me, and I loved her, and I told her how strong she was, and she told me the story again and how she felt. And a lot of you are saying, what? Yes, this is important. Then all of a sudden, she released the gift. The gift of, I'm strong. I'm independent. Because she said, and I broke her arm. Well, I did break her arm. She was going to jump on my back. I said no. And when that happened, it broke the victimhood. And out came that gift that my little 10-year-old essence said, you know what? I'm strong. I am my own person. I'm not going to let somebody jump on my back. I'm not going to let somebody hurt me. And that was the gift. Do you know what that did for me? As an older person who's had a whole bunch of life, I'm strong. Do you see? In the weakest moments, you can draw upon that. That's the light in the darkness. I want to ask you a few questions. I have a beautiful exercise for you. Okay? How do you want to see yourself? I know that sounds so easy, but it's not. Because how we want to be seen is not how we're always seen. And how many times do you say something when you're out in public or you act some way and you think, oh, I didn't want to do that? Well, now I'm asking you, how do you want to see yourself? Who is that person you want to see? How do you want to feel about yourself? Do you know how many people I help and and talk to when they come to me? They say, I don't like me. I don't trust me. I don't feel comfortable with me. Isn't it time to change that? How do you celebrate each day? Do you celebrate each day? How do I want to relate to relationships differently? Or am I happy with the way I relate to relationships? How do I relate to myself differently? How do I want to relate to myself differently? These questions I'm giving you are all the start to giving you a goal for self-healing. And it's a start of introspection. And when you look at this, you'll say, oh my gosh, I do want to feel strong. I do want to feel confident. I do want to feel good when I walk into a room. Then now you have your goal set up. It's really interesting. I started just off the cuff. I don't even have it on my website. I don't. But I started because I was at a wonderful event. Actually, Dr. Vargas, and he's been a guest on this show, he had an event, and it was calling Healing the Mind and Body, and I added spirit. It's his event, and I'm adding. Well, there you go. So anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm hearing people talk about their physical ailments, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's so spiritual. They have to heal. You can hear it just oozing out of them. Everything, the addictions, the fibromyalgia, all this pain that they're feeling is just loads and loads and loads. It's an overburden of their aura or the energy around them. And it goes into the spirit world and it weighs it down. It weighs down your soul. And then it shows up in the physical. Every time. So it has to be cured in the spiritual. And that begins with the healing. And so I'm sitting there listening and I'm talking to people about the mindset. But because they're dealing with so much stuff way down inside, the simple mindset cures of changing your thoughts, doing affirmations to heal, they're not going to work for very long. They'll work for a little bit, but then the old patterns will come back because the hurt is still there. So then I said, well, how about who would like to go on a healing journey with me? And I got people to sign up. People just wanted to sign up. I didn't even have a price or anything. So I started this course. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't take a lot. But the women they were all women, all the women who went through the healing journey broke the chains. They all feel free. And how does that manifest in life here? You don't feel like you have to do the dogmas of society. You want to live with, I don't know, if you want to live your life the way you want to live it, you feel confident to do it. You don't feel like you have to fit in. And you don't feel apologetic about it either. And then after that comes the love. The love fills you for people, for humanity, for life itself, because, I'm not sure. I think Spirit just suddenly says, you don't have to build with any more crap. So the love starts to fill you, that unconditional love. Why does that help? Well, all right. So say you're driving down the road. Instead of worry, doubt, and fear and trying to worry about your future, instead you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful sunny day. I'm driving the foliage. Oh my gosh, the foliage is beautiful. It's so beautiful. You live in the present moment and then you feel miracles are going to happen today. Today, I'm going to have so much abundance. I feel so free. You get to live right in the moment. You get to experience the joy of the moment. And from that comes the creativity, the ideas, the new of life comes out of that moment. But we usually aren't there. We're too trapped in our non-healing. We're too trapped in trying to be something for someone else because we learned a long time ago that we had to be someone for someone else all the time. That is something you need to heal from, believe it or not, folks. It's a belief that is hurting you. That is what healing is. It is healing from a belief that is hurting you. We're so stuck thinking about, unsureness of ourselves. Did I leave that on? Did I close the garage door? Did I do this? Oh, what is that person going to think about me? Do you see all these things? How in the heck do you even notice if the sun is out? How do you even notice that the life is happening? And how can you feel that freedom and that love in your heart for the beautiful day, for what the universe is bringing into your life, for the beautifulness of the people around you, the unconditional love, because you have a higher understanding of life itself? You find that you never, ever will turn down helping someone, but not because of obligation, but because of a true love inside of you. It's a different way of living. You don't find that you go after something with this desire to have. Everything you do is to better your life, better other people's lives, better the world. Even if it doesn't matter what it is. Everything you do has that in it. And you think, well, that sounds so heavy. It's actually a total freedom, because it's not coming from me having to do it or an obligation or I was told in catechism class. It comes from a freedom because it's what filled the void once I had forgiven myself and healed from whatever I needed to heal from and learn the higher lesson. And then that love just came in. And when you go for a goal, sure, you want it to succeed. Sure, you want it. But it's more about, what are you doing? Who are you helping? Who are you with? If you ask anyone on my team, they say, well, Elena's not really worried about fame. I'm not. I was just telling the producer, I would love to just live on a mountain with all my pine trees and my dogs. See the ocean. Yeah, I'm good with that. But fame, what's famous? But she's just happy to be able to teach. She's just happy to help people live their life to the best and to feel happiness and joy and to open their hearts to love and love of themselves. Love of themselves. That's really, guys, that's what healing's about. And yes, you do have to focus on you to do it. And please don't tell me that's selfish. It's not selfish. Because if you can't work on yourself to become a better person, then how are you going to benefit the world? I guess I'm tired of seeing everybody bumble around. Hurting each other, impatience with everybody. After this COVID, I've seen a lot of meanness. I have seen indifference, not caring. I've seen fear. I have seen accusations. And everybody has to have a fight. And everybody has to be on a side. That's no way to live. And it all comes from hurt inside. I'll tell you what, if you need to heal, if you need to look at yourself, I would really start with a journal. I would start with a spirit writing, and it can be wicked fun. Get a notebook and put at the top, what is my problem? I'm serious. I mean, I said it in a joke, but it's not a joke. I put down, why am I so frustrated? Basic. What is my problem? I would do that. And then just start writing. Just start writing. Get it out of your system. Start writing to find out what in the heck you're dealing with. And the first 2 paragraphs, 2 pages might be all conscious, all very good. And then all of a sudden stuff will start popping out like popcorn. And you'll think, oh my God, look at this. And then email me at info@soulmanifesto.com after that. Because I think what we need to do is, if you're interested, listen, I think 95% of the population is going around damaged. And we put on that brave little soldier face and we face the world and our mask. But wouldn't it be fun to not have to put on that soldier face and to just come out into the world and say, here I am, Lord, here it is. Isn't that a wonderful way to be? But not all your garbage. We don't want your garbage. We want the love inside of you. We want that higher self. And so if you're wanting to get rid of that garbage, I love it when people say all of me and then they give you all their crap. I don't want their crap. That's what we're getting now. I don't want your crap. So go ahead and look at Soul Manifesto. And if you are interested in this wonderful course of the spiritual journey of healing, I'll tell you, it is an 8-week course. We meet 1 hour a week, and you get 2 private coachings with me. My groups are very small. You get to know the people in there. They're your friend for life. So if you're interested in that, just email me at info@soulmanifesto.com. Guys, it is time to live authentically, vulnerability, but you can't do that if you don't feel it inside. So let's clear out. Let's let the light shine out of that darkness. Learn those higher lessons, evolve our soul, and start celebrating our lives. Join soulmanifesto.com. We are a very incredible group of beautiful people. God, I love the people in soulmanifesto.com. And like I said, reach out to me. And if you just want to manifest and create, then look at Inevitable You. It'll help you do it with ease and joy. As always, guys, I love you. Celebrate your life. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And always, as you know, love is spirit. So when we open up to love, we are opening up to spirit. Isn't it time? Namaste.
You're listening to Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner purpose. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.